We'll go to Angie. Thanks for waiting.
Hi, Helen. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I loved what you've just said, the talk. My heart was just singing.
Wonderful.
I have a question, but before that, I just want to share that there is a revelation here of this sweet emptiness and a longing to keep returning there. It's like meeting my most beloved. It's like wanting to be alone with my most beloved, and that is here, me, right now. And I just want to say that I've listened to so many satsangs, and when people sort of pop up and talk about the love and the bliss, I always got quite triggered by that and thought, well, it's all right for them. They don't have my problems. I just want to share that the human appearance of Angie has been one of really quite significant suffering throughout the life, and also trauma and long-term illness and so on. And it makes not a jot of difference. It's not in the way. It's not an obstacle. It doesn't have to be resolved or fixed. And having said that, there are still triggers definitely strong enough to pull attention back into the hypnosis of that whole appearance and despair and all that. So I just wanted to say that if anyone's thinking, well, it's all right for her. My question is, with dipping into and as emptiness where there is clearly no individual there or mind, is it important or is it helpful in any way that when mind is functioning again, that there are affirmations of that emptiness, or is that another trick of the ego, sort of jumping onto an I'm enlightened thing, which, you know,
we've all done that. We've all been there, done that.
Yeah. Does it need affirming as a little belief there, or should that be left alone completely? In other words, if the mind is still getting involved in seeking, or I can't do this or whatever, should that be replaced with little daydreams about this sweet emptiness that is my inner beloved? I don't know whether I've made that clear. I wonder if you could address that, please.
Yeah, it's not so much about what's going on in the mind, it's about why it's happening. For me, as I began to fall in love with that emptiness, as you've called it, sweet emptiness, which is a beautiful way to describe you. I found that the content of the mind started to change by itself. There were more of these little daydreams, more mind by itself wanted to pay more attention to this, to think about this too. It wanted to think about the forms much less. No sudden thing where it's like, okay, form is boring, let's think about formlessness. It was very gradual, so subtle. But I would notice my mind thinking about it, trying to understand it, trying to come from this angle, that angle. And at first I fought that, like it should just go quiet. But I realized that was my mind's way of loving the formlessness too. It was starting to understand that it can never understand, but to enjoy the thinking about it as a way to kind of fall in love with it too. So mind, there's nothing wrong with thinking, especially thinking that's about the beloved, you know, the infinite being. And there's nothing sweeter than that in the mind. And naturally from there, you kind of fall back into the silent bliss of your real nature anyway. And then you fall out of there after a while, and thoughts are more and more about that. And then you kind of fall back into there and you get into this upward cycle. So if the mind's going to be thinking, it might as well be thinking about something that actually brings us joy and pleasure and all of that. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with that thinking. It's why are you thinking about that? If you're thinking about the beloved and wanting to dissolve in that, or recognize that you are that, then that's about as intelligent as mind can be, isn't it? That's about as pure and as beautiful and as focused as it can be. And you can be thinking about the great self, the beloved, and feeling that you're really so far away from it, you'll never get there. Or you can be thinking about it and, wow, won't it be nice when it's totally obvious, clear, no matter what's going on in the body and mind, like you said. You know, it's going to be very clear that that's what I really am. So it's not so much what's going on in the mind, it's why that thought process is occurring. Is it driven by something that's trying to get somewhere? Or is it more just of a, wow, I'm never really gonna fully get this. Like, and that's actually not terrifying. That's actually quite beautiful. That's actually quite freeing. Can I think about it one more time from a different angle? Every time I think about what I really am, it's gonna make me feel a little closer to it, or something like that. And if you look at what's happening in your mind, you probably find as you're falling in love with yourself more, it's more the mind's way of worshipping, of revering it. It's not trying to get to it so much. It's just what the mind is currently interested in. So it thinks about it a lot.
That's beautiful. It's almost like singing the praises of, rather than...
It's a Gita going on in your own head, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
It is.
Oh, that's lovely, Helen. Oh, beautiful.
You can feel
Thank
the
you
energy
so
that
much.
comes with that. It's totally harmless, isn't it? It's not the obsessive thought machine that was going on. It's more a softening that's just kind of, I'm going to examine the unexaminable and try to know the unknowable, just for the joy of it, really.
Enjoy in myself, enjoying myself. Yes.
Absolutely. And why not think about it? There's nothing wrong with thoughts, is there? It's not like the
No.
mind's bad. It's only that repetitive, cyclic thought that just makes us feel so terrible and seems to, you know, cause a lot of suffering. That's the only thing we need to move away from. The intellect, the mind, is a real gift, isn't it? When we can, you know, sort of focus it on something worthwhile like that.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful.